let's listen to us reflectively and find this is really useful. And for practice is we will say the very core concept of art of hosting. As Nancy explained, that this is originally coming from the people who really want to bring the many people's voice to create a future that themselves want instead of somebody's wants. So we really like to engage people. So like we have lots of methodologies and concepts, but not really originally from art of hosting. We are really good at collaborating with lots of people. And then so if we ask, what is really core of art of hosting? And this is the one. Yes. Yes.
The heart of the art.
Yes, heart of the art. Yes. Our heart of the art is about practice. As we repeated many times, we can make it one times. Okay. And we continue to practice. So it's good to have some framework to reflect and also invent the framework in your everyday life, in your everyday practice. So I will start. Obviously, we have a 4, and this is a wavering and it's a overlap, and we say not 4 steps practice, 4 practice. The first practice is hosting yourself. I really encourage you to host yourselves in your everyday life to ready for the conversation you are engaged in. In a conversation, I really hope you to bring yourself and speak from your heart without somebody's opinion and somebody's knowledge. I really like to invite you to speak from your heart and your experience to create the future we want. So instead, in order to do so, first we need to prepare to be yourself. So there are many ways to be yourself, and we just say, just host yourself. What does the hosting mean? When and how are you feeling comfortable? You should know it. You should explore how I can be really feeling hosted by yourself. And then also invitation, this is really appropriate to Japanese people and also could be appropriate for you guys. And many people are really good at hosting others, very nice to others, very kind to others. But Japanese people are not really good at really nice and really kind to yourself. If it's appropriate for you too, let's start to imagine how to nicely to others. The same things, practice the same thing to yourself. But if you are really nervous before the important meeting, and if your friends in the situation, how do you talk to your friends? How do you care for the friends? Imagine, then do it for yourselves. So there are lots of practice to host yourself, and so that you can start to be fully present as yourself. Maybe you have some experience or stories?
When I was little, and to this day, my parents think if I focus on myself, I am a narcissist, somebody who thinks about nobody else, only cares about me. And then I had an experience in an art of hosting where I was the host. And I did the breath pattern teach. And afterwards, somebody came to me and said, wow, I really enjoyed that. And I said, no, it was no good. I meant to do better, like that, yeah? So somebody who used to run an insurance company said, the state or the quality of the intervention is dependent on the inner state of the person. I destroyed good work with not hosting self, being angry, being stuck in my head, being whatever, right? Being stupid. And so the invitation is to host yourself because it's a gift to everybody else. And, is it this one? It's in the dark. The second is be hosted, which means be a good participant. And there's, yay, exactly, such a good job. And being a good participant is not just about you, it's about really being open and curious to learning in a way that helps other people be open and curious to learning. So a participation is not a solo activity, it's also a group activity. So yes, you need to host yourself, but to be a good participant, super useful. If you can also consider, and how is what I am doing affecting others? It's a little funny to say that in this context where I feel everybody is caring so much for everybody else that actually host yourself is maybe more important. But it's nice how they go together and we can help each other in our learning. Maybe you have something to add.
I have less time for participating in somebody's style of event or some conference because I was busy. I always think I felt I was busy, so I don't have a time to participate in a more fun event or learning event. And I thought it was no way and no choice. But after 4 years doing this practice, I feel I'm very stuck. And then coming back to the 4-4 practice, and I find that I have no experiences of participating for 4 years. And I decided to go to United States and have deeply participated for 5 days. And there I'm allowed to host myself and really participate. So I really enjoyed. And I cry and I laugh and I just boycott some workshops. I just recover my freedom, and also I get the confidence to my job. Like I'm really appreciated to host somebody host me, and I have many choices to participate or not participate, and this work is really important as well. So my stuck is really solved, and I have a little bit more confident about this practice to host somebody. So I'm really appreciative. ごめんね, sorry. So if you feel that, oh, this is about me, I'm really busy, I'm really working very hard for my purpose or like a social purpose, but still it's really good to take your time to participate and enjoy listening and speaking. Yes. So third one, which I was really dedicated at the moment, was hosting others. If you have participated in many places, I think you are more wiser than you think. And you have more friends than you think. And you have more possible collaborator than you think. So not just sitting in the table and then really learning, just raise a little bit more and then host others. And just call, let's talk about it. Come, there's a World Cafe, and let's talk about it. This is important. So stand up from the table and then started to host others. So like Wendy and Vin and Lena and Eric started this act of hosting. That's why we are come together like this. So hosting others is really important, not just skill, but important things for our art of hosting and harvesting community.
I've been trying to think of a story, and actually this is, my whole nature is host others. And so I've always dreamt of being able to do this, but without the tools. And so what I was grateful for was this language about hosting, because we keep saying host, 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 and everybody says, can't translate. And in Switzerland, they say, use a better term, no good term. And actually, it's perfect as a term. It's about everything that you do to create the possibility for people to host themselves, for people to host others, or for people to be in learning together and participate, and then to help hold that process. There's knowledge here, but more important is possibility. So, if you have some of these conditions, at least a little bit, you may be building a community that can host itself and co-create. I have had the amazing good fortune to be able to be part of a community like that. It takes real maturity. But in my life, I discovered I couldn't host myself until I had a community that was able to help me host myself and be hosted. And I was deaf to my community. Thinking about you, I had a community and I didn't know that I had the community. My story was, I'm alone. I'm here, I'm doing everything, can't stay there because my mother's going, don't be selfish, right? So can't be very good there. So can only pretend to host others because I don't have capacity. And then I can't be part of a community that actually can host. So my community helped me host myself. And that helped me be a better participant. And that's how I met Sarah last year. I went as a participant to an art of hosting. It's so much fun. You have so little work. You can boycott a session. Like, how much fun is that, right? And so this is how they start to fit together. But maybe you have a story, because you built community.
No, I think we are kind of talking about what it didn't work so.
No, also what did oh, I see. Sorry.
But the story I like to share is also it didn't work about community. So I thought this is misunderstood about co-creation. Co-creation has a goal that we should achieve or that can be achieved. So I have never felt I am co-creating with somebody. Because since I started Art of Hosting community in Japan in 5 years, I thought I have never co-created or collaborated. And so this is really difficult to understand this scope of practice. Then I have a conversation with Art of Hosting Stuart, and sorry, I have never co-created, ever. And then I didn't understand what does this mean. And he said, oh, Yuri, I think really you are stupid. So co-creation is a process, so not goal. So if I think I can be more better, or I should have collaborated more better, or more and more people can be involved, but I was not really good at, so I mistake. But mistake is also the process of co-creation to make a better step. But I was very stupid for 5 years. Then I thought I didn't think I'm never co-created. But if you think you have making many mistakes with people and community, you're surely in the process of co-creation.
So now you have, yes, beautiful, because honestly, Yuri has built a community which is thriving now in Japan, and it is thriving because of Yuri. And I know your colleagues here from Japan are a huge part of that, so thank you to you. But also thank you because it takes somebody who has that, yeah, to do that. But a community of practice is itself a beautiful thing, and a community that practices inviting more people into the practice is a beautiful thing. Ellie is here from the Vietnam community. an astonishing community, and she was a core part of building that from nothing and creating a community. So was Yuri. I did this in Switzerland. Mansi is doing it in India, right? So you have friends in the world who know what it is to feel lonely in the world and to build a community of practice so that we can be together in good conversations, in meaningful conversations, in making our worlds better together. I'm making myself cry. So time for you to talk before I descend into tears. Okay. So the invitation now is to find any place in the room, any chair, and one person you did not speak to yet, maybe where you share a language is helpful, yeah? And where you can tell stories, where you can ask each other this: tell me stories of how each fold shows up in your life. So we have, that's an excellent question. Oh, you have 15 minutes. 15, okay? So you exchange stories. You can go deep on one if you want. Yeah, up to you, but 15 minutes. Pairs is helpful? Yeah, thank you. Clarity. Okay. And we've got a second set of the